Keshan Silver's ramped up. What's he showing you this spring?
He's getting better and better. He's not been able to go into any of the full contact stuff yet, but we've been able to ramp him up in terms of individuals and some of the non-contact work. So, yeah, I mean, you see some of why we recruited him. I mean, he's, a really, really big guy that moves well. He's handled the injury and all that very well. Our staff's done a great job kind of post-surgery with him, which, again, we kind of knew all that coming in. So, excited to get him out. It's kind of right there on the edge of, if we would do competitive stuff with him in spring ball, we probably won't, just because we're right here at the end now. I want to make sure that knee gets the kind of the full treatment and the full, just kind of the full go there. But he's doing well. We're certainly counting on him to be ready here in August to step out here and make a big difference.
You have a healthy mix of young guys on the D-line and veteran guys. How have those two different kind of groups been meshing together, the older guys?
Really well. It's one of the closer groups, and I think, led very well by Coach Nua and Coach Henney, and how well those guys work together. I think it's a great example for our guys of, two coaches coming together and really, kind of becoming as one, and a great example for the unit. But it's good. It's an energetic group. It's a confident group. They're really out to prove something. I mean, you feel that on our defensive line right now. The competition's high, but you feel them more like pushing each other and like just wanting the whole group to be great. And it's in a very unselfish manner right now. But the young guys have come in, brought in a lot of energy. These older guys now, or some of the guys that have been in the program, have improved and want to step up as leaders and kind of really help push the group forward. So that's in a really healthy place.
What's been your impression of DJ Wingfield and just that left guard spot?
He's really impressive. A really good player. Honestly, he's probably, we obviously thought enough of him to sign him. He's probably a little bit better than I thought he was, and I thought he was pretty good. So he's done very well, incredibly professional in his approach. He's one of those guys, like, you plug him in there, and even in the beginning of spring, it looks like he's been with us forever. Like you if you came out here and watched us, you would know that he's just getting going, with us and in our system. And so he's done a really nice job. He and Elijah have developed a good rapport already, which has been good to see. He's a smart player. He gives us position flex. Certainly has a bright future.
What have you seen from Jaden Walker, and do you see him carving that role?
100%. Jaden's been awesome. I think one of the real bright spots of spring. Not totally surprising, but he missed most of last year coming off the shoulder injury before he came in, and got to play a little bit for us. Obviously played a little bit in the bowl game, started to ramp him up at practice at the end of the year in bowl practice last year, and we were pretty impressed by how he just jumped in and was ready to go. His body's dramatically changed, and he's just come out here more confident, and no question. I mean, he's going to help this football team a lot, and he's going to be a really bright, a really bright spot when you kind of look at the future as well. So he's had a fantastic spring and going to play a big role on this defense.
It brings a really big developmental time for you guys. Winding down here in the spring, which position group do you think has made the biggest strides, or maybe exceeded your expectations?
The linebacker group, as previously mentioned, I've been really pleased with that group. I think, Rob's done a great job with that group. We've been fortunate to stay very healthy throughout spring, because we are a little thin there in terms of numbers. But some of the older guys like EG and Beavers and those guys have done a really good job leading the group. The younger guys, Jaden, as we just mentioned, Dez. Those guys are really coming along. We got some good veterans in the group. We had some tremendous program guys in the group. That's been a really healthy, competitive group as well.
How have you seen Brilan Shelby rev up, especially this spring, as he prepares for this upcoming season?
He's gotten a lot better. Brilan's a really talented player. He's always put a lot into his craft. I think he's starting to look and play like a more natural player, playing more confident, playing with better technique, learning when to use certain techniques in certain situations. He kind of came here as a big, athletic, good-looking guy, right, that looked the part and he had all the traits, and now it's like that path to becoming a great player now, right? And he's really invested in it. Obviously the coaching he's getting is pretty elite, and he takes to it well. So he's had a good spring, and I think has a great opportunity to be more impactful for us than he's been in the first couple of years.
What's greatness for him how you envision greatness for him as a player?
Well, I think just unlocking his physical potential. You know, he has a ton of potential, but a lot of guys do and aren't ready to be great players. There's a big difference between the two. So if he can continue on that path, he's a hard worker. He's a great kid. He's just going to keep getting better and better.
With Jared, I know at Georgia he had some questions about conditioning. How have you seen him just kind of respond to that? And I know, or like here, how have you seen him kind of handle his fitness?
Yeah, he's embraced it. You know, we were real transparent with him about it in the recruiting process. We told him if that was going to be any issue, that this wasn't going to work here, and he gave us his word that he was ready to be better, and he's done that so far. I mean, he lives down there with Coach Wiley. You know, he's yeah, we're going to name a Stairmaster after him for sure. We'll have a little plaque at some point, I think. So, but he's done a good job. He's a talented kid. It's like he's one of those guys. At least this point, he kind of reminds you of just somebody that's like got a fresh start and is like re-energized and and very excited. He comes out here with a great attitude. Like he's fun to be around, and he's like a big guy like that you don't think should move the way he does. He's got some real ability, and he's really starting to learn how to play the game.
I know big defensive tackles are, notoriously you could have a 5-star guy who comes in and doesn't really adjust as well to the size and the athleticism. How do you determine like that, especially when you don't have a ton of film from him in Georgia? How do you determine with a guy like that, even just generally, like, is this guy going to live up to the billing that he originally had? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're fortunate we had some connections to people around Ja that had been with him in other situations, so it was good to get to know him there. I think you trust what you see on tape, and we thought the flashes were there. And then his recruiting visit when he came out, like there was really no recruiting. It was really just we got to get to know you, and you got to get to know us, and we got to decide if this is going to work, because you don't get any more shots. You know, like this is it. And so we just, we believed in the kid as it went through, and felt like that he was worth taking a chance on, and been very pleased with what we've seen so far.
Do you have a status update on Anthony Lucas?
Progressing extremely well. He won't do anything full go this spring, which we knew that coming in, but rehab's on schedule. He should be full go for us when we report back for summer, and then obviously we'll get him ramped up and get ready to go. But he's been spending a lot of time in the weight room right now, attacking some areas from a strength standpoint, and learning in the meetings, on the field, all that, but progressing well.